Oh, buddy, T here, and I'm gonna do something a little bit different today. I'm in a bit of a rut right now with my channel, and I thought one fun thing I could try to do, see how this goes. I have done like stuff like this in the past. A lot of you may know this, because I have talked about it before, but I do have other interests aside from other anime, and one of my other interests is foam flinging blasters. I used to be into like Nerf blasters, but then, Nerf kinda but then a company came along called Dart Zone. You guys know I love this company so much. I've bought almost everything they've released in the pro wise. So here's your standard Nerf gun. Shoots full length dart. It shoots at about 70 feet per second. This was the old days before we had stuff like this right here. This is the Dart Zone Pro Mark 2.1. It shoots only short darts. It loads a magazine through the handle right here and drops out like that. It shoots 150 feet per second, and it is an absolute monster, and it is one of my favorite things that I own ever. So yes, I'm a big fan of this hobby. I've been collecting it for quite a while now, but I'm very casual with it, and I do take them out and play with them every now and then. I have with some friends as well. So recently, the big one that just came out was this beauty, the Nexus Pro X. And as soon as I saw Wacom's review for this, I knew I had to pick this one up. I thought it looked so amazing. Here's the full blaster right here, stock 2-barrel. And I picked this up quite a few days ago. I've had it for quite a while, and I've decided to try maybe making a bit of a review on it. We'll see how this goes. I have uploaded videos like this in the past. I have actually uploaded a video of this up on my channel if you're interested. But yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. Just change it up, and I really, really like this thing, so I think it could be good. So the Nexus Pro X is kind of a revival / upgrade of the original Nexus Pro. This blaster right here. This is a very tried and true blaster, very beloved in the hobby. I've had mine for about 3 years or so, maybe 4. It's a beautiful blaster. It honestly is. A lot of people like to say that it's not all it's cracked up to be, but it really honestly is. It was 50 bucks when it came out. I actually got mine on sale for 30, and it's just amazing. It shoots 150 feet per second, pump action, and it can take either full length or half lengths. However, I have totally abandoned full lengths completely in my personal career, if you want to call it that. We're just hobby is what we'll call it. I have completely abandoned full length darts. I go all half darts all the time. I literally don't even care if it fires full length darts anymore, and I wish it, and I actually prefer it not firing it, because this thing right here takes away the full length darts and gives you a bunch of advantages. But they're pretty much the same in a spiritual way. They're both pump action, magazine fed. They both have an adjustable stock here in the back. So pump action, magazine fed, adjustable stock in the back here. And yeah, and they are pretty much like, they're very, very similar. One thing I will absolutely just go absolutely crazy on real quick right off the bat is how much better the Nexus Pro X feels in terms of plastic quality to the Nexus Pro. The Nexus Pro is not a bad feeling blaster. It actually feels really, really nice. The plastic is nice and good. It's a nice feeling blaster. It honestly is. This thing, however, probably about twice as nice as that. And on that note as well, the other big competitor to the Nexus Pro X, in my opinion, is the long shot, which I did also pick this one up as well, and I love this thing. Actually used it for a long time. I've been using this lately, but I used this for a long time because this, I would say, is definitely the biggest contender against the Nexus Pro X personally. This thing is amazing. It shoots at about 150 feet per second, pump action, magazine fed in the back here. It is full length and short length compatible, so that's not the greatest thing ever, but it's perfectly fine. It doesn't really hinder it at all. The biggest problem with this blaster, because honestly this blaster really does not have many problems at all. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I love this thing. The only problem with it is the plastic quality. It feels really, really, really chintzy and cheap. Not absolutely horrendous. It's still perfectly usable. You can even dry fire it and it's perfectly fine. Like, it's a very, very nice blaster, especially for the $30 price point that it comes in. However, the Nexus Pro X kind of shits on the plastic quality of every single one of these because it feels about triple as good as the long shot and probably about double as good as the Nexus. This is really thick, really durable, really high quality plastic, especially up here where you have the metal for the barrel. Of course, you probably even have some metal for the pump action right here, and the pump action is so much smoother than the Nexus Pro. The Nexus Pro has this really gross like slop to it up here. Well, if you have it not primed, of course, it has this gross little slop right here. This is not part of the prime. This is only to facilitate facilitate being able to use the full-length darts. It has this crappy little thing right here. This is the actual prime right here. You can hear, you kind of hear like the plastic creaking. Like, it is 3 years old, but still, plastic is creaking, and you know, it's just not the nicest feeling blaster, especially when you pick up this, because the pump action on this, it is buttery smooth. It is absolutely phenomenal. You could do this all freaking day, and it even has slam fire, which the Nexus Pro does not have slam fire. The Dictator does, which I have over there in my closet. Amazing blaster. But yes, slam fire, and it takes only short darts. Now, let me tell you why taking short darts is way, way better than having both full length and long lengths. Can we call them that from now on? Here's the problem with the adapters, with being able to use the full length and the half lengths, and something that I officially am like done with. I'm completely over. Like, my Nexus and my Max Striker and all of them haven't come out of the closet in for my use in so long. I just lend them to people to use, and I use the long shot and the Dictator, and now this beautiful thing. And I'll tell you the primary reason for it. The biggest reason for that is because with the Nexus and the Max Striker and a lot of others, if it has this freaking full length adapter right here, here's what you have to do. You can't put the magazine in. You can't. It's not actually seated in there. It's only just like, it's got like 2 clicks for this one right here. It actually has to be primed back before you can load it in. And you can't take it out unless this is primed. Now, this has been the case for this hobby for a long ass time, to the point where we kind of just accepted it, until X-Shot came in here with their beautiful long shot and totally showed them how it's done, where you do not need to prime it back at all. You can take the magazine in and out, and it's wonderful. It is such a wonderful fucking thing. And it was also the case on flywheel blasters, which are the electronic ones. Those you don't have to prime it back, obviously, because there is no priming it back, which was one of the major advantages to flywheel blasters. So it was amazing when X-Shot came in and showed them how it's done by doing this right here. It's absolutely phenomenal that they were able to do that. And with the new Nexus Pro X, you guessed it, since it only uses half-length darts, you do not have to pull this back in order to put the magazine in. You can take the magazine out and put it in whenever you like. Now, these ones right here that I'm using right here are the Dictator magazines, and these are not the magazines you're probably noticing kind of sloppy getting it in here, because these are not the included magazines with the Nexus Pro X, because the Nexus Pro X comes with quite possibly the nicest short length magazines that I have personally seen to date. The plastic quality on these, the look of them, they are amazing. I'm almost tempted to buy another Nexus Pro X just for more magazines, but I think I'm going to hold off and hope that they release these separately, because these are fucking amazing. I love them. And they do also have the Aeon Pro X, which maybe I'll pick one of those up to get that magazine as well. But yes, these magazines are fucking incredible. And yes, with the Nexus Pro X, there is absolutely no need to pull the priming handle back. You can take it out. I can do this all day. I can do this all day. And you have no idea how good that feels. You have no idea how good it feels to be taking people out and then just pull it out. Look how many darts you have. Slam it back in there. Take it out. Put another magazine in there. Not ever have to touch this ever. It is glorious. This right here, this one reason is why these are the only 2 blasters that I have been using for the past like 2.5 months, man, ever since I got this, basically, because I'm over it. I do not need to prime this back in order to do this. You are making me do more steps that I don't have to do, and it's just ridiculous, and this thing just shows you how it's done. As for ergonomics, they're absolutely phenomenal. Handle feels amazing, and there's no wiggle whatsoever. I actually think there is more wiggle on the Nexus Pro handle. This is way wigglier. Oh, it's actually still pretty tight. There are some blasters out there that really have like wiggly handles. Nah, that one's fine. This one is not one of them. This is super nice. It feels amazing. It's super duper comfortable. This handle up here, also very, very comfortable. However, if you don't like this handle, you can replace it with one of your own by taking this off, taking off all the screws there, and there'll be a little Picatinny rail there, and you can put your new handle in there. But I'm perfectly satisfied with this. It's super nice and smooth to prime it. And then for the stock, a little bit short, and it's standard configuration, but you can pull it out. You don't even have to push the button when you pull it out. You push the button when you want to take it completely off or push it in, but when you want to take it out, all you got to do is pull it right there, and the max length is very, very comfortable. It could probably use a few extra inches, but it's still super super comfortable. I really like it. And yeah, it's got a nice thing there. This scope right here is included as well, and you have this front sight as well. The scope is pretty good. I have been using it, and it's pretty solid. However, I actually tried taking this scope off and replacing it with the scope that came with the Jurassic Park one, which I got this for like 25 bucks on clearance, and it's actually really cool. I actually took this one and put this one on there, and I actually like this one quite a bit, and I think I was able to be a little bit more accurate with this one. So you could go with that, or you could also try out the Max Striker one as well, although this one's pretty much the same principle. I just think these are a little bit too high up to have the thing like perfectly, especially since the barrel is actually pretty low down here. This is not the barrel, it's actually this right here is the barrel, so it's actually pretty far down from where you're aiming. So I don't think sights like this are the best. You probably want to get one like this that's quite a bit lower to the ground. I personally have been having a a lot of success with this one right here. I really like this one personally. Another thing that I've just got to praise so much about the Nexus Pro X is that it's actually very pleasant to look at. One thing I loved about the X-Shot Long Shot is this amazing skin that they have on it. It looks incredible. It's such a cool looking blaster. And then you compare this to the Max Striker or the Nexus Pro, and I love orange. Orange is my favorite color, but this is so boring. Like, what the hell, man? You couldn't put any design on this. There were other Nexuses that had that as well, but with the new Nexus Pro X, they've given it this beautiful purple paint scheme right here and this awesome like camo pattern that they actually did release on the Nexus the Nexus Pro, but it was like all over. With this one, it's only like this like stripe right here, and it just looks awesome. It looks so funky and fresh, and I just love it. It reminds me of like a G2 Transformer paint scheme, and I love it. It looks amazing. It looks absolutely amazing. And then you even have the Nexus Pro X right there and the Powered by Dart Zone Adventure Time right there. Absolutely phenomenal, man. This blaster is so fucking glorious. Now, there's still quite a few features to go over with it. Up here at the front, you have what is called your P-Car and your Scar muzzle right here. Now, I'll be honest, I don't understand the point of getting both of these because they're both here to improve your accuracy. However, this one improves your accuracy significantly more than this one, and there's not really any reason to ever switch between them. And the way they've engineered this blaster is that you can pop this one out, pop this one there, and put that right there. And supposedly this is supposed to help you with this. And then you also get this. You also get this right here. This is supposed to slide onto your rail right here, and it's supposed to hold your P-Car when you're using this barrel right here. I've tried using this barrel, and it's just not as good as this one, and I just don't see any improvement over this one. So I don't really understand why they included both of these. It's not a big deal because this blaster is $50. It's the exact same price as the Nexus Pro, and it's a phenomenal deal, and this is all you need. So I really don't know why they even bothered with this. So it looks really cool just sitting up there though, and it's a fun thing to fiddle with if you want to. But for me, I just keep the P-Car on, that right there for the style points, and I just take this off and put it in storage. Although honestly, the way they've engineered this is pretty cool because it's actually pretty minimalistic and flat, so it doesn't really get in the way or anything. But I just don't like a lot of stuff on my blaster personally. I like it to be nice and clean, like a CSGO skin. But yes, very interesting design here. But they've done some really cool stuff with this. It's actually got like little like wheels right here that are supposed to make the dart kind of spin, which is going to improve your accuracy. And with this blaster, which I actually think I haven't even mentioned yet, this blaster is supposed to actually hit up to about 200 feet per second, which is about 50 feet per second than all of these other blasters that I've been showing throughout this video. So it is a massive improvement. As well as I do believe that Dart Zone and Adventure Force are planning on releasing a spring upgrade as well. And to get to the spring, it's super easy. You just got to pull your stock off, take off this one screw right here in the back, just like that. Now, a lot of people have said you don't really have to put the screw back in, but I personally would recommend putting the screw back in. You definitely don't want to like prime this back and then have this thing like shoot into your shoulder or something like that, or pop off and shoot into the, well, obviously you wouldn't be using this without the stock on, but whatever. But yes, you could leave the screw off if you want to, but I would personally recommend leaving the screw on there. But you take that screw off, you give this a little spin, and out comes your spring. And supposedly Dart Zone is going to release a new spring pack where you're going to get we're gonna get, I believe it's, you can get that upgraded one, and you will actually get a lower power one that will bring you down to about 150 feet per second. I believe. Don't have all the information on that. I'm a very casual fan when it comes to this hobby. But yes, so if you want to go back down to 150 feet per second, that is possible. You don't just have to not use the glorious new Nexus Pro X. So very, very cool that they've done that as well. And it's super easy to just pop this little thing on right here and get that right there. Why is it not going back? There you go. You just got to make sure you get those tabs lined up so you can put it back on right there. So very cool that they've done that as well. I might pick up that spring upgrade, but if I want to go back down to 150 feet per second, I'll probably just whip out my long shot because I still love this thing. I still think this thing is goated. But yeah, this is easily my new favorite primary. Easily. It is amazing. I honestly cannot sing its praises high enough. It is absolutely incredible. The one more feature that I do want to point out is the storage stock. So they actually included a little button right here. You pull this and you can slide the stock off, and you have a small compartment right there where you can put stuff. Unfortunately, you can't fit this little attachment in there, but you could probably fit maybe some batteries in there if you would need to. Maybe you could throw some Jolly Ranchers in there if you want to, some candy. Just probably not chocolate because that would melt in the hot sunlight. Or what they tell you to put in there is this included O-ring right here, the white one, not these black ones. But yeah, this is included. They always include an extra O-ring, which is nice, but I've literally never had any blaster have the O-ring break. Not one single time on any blaster I've ever used. So if you want to leave this extra O-ring in the stock, that's what they tell you to do. But personally, if you want to, then you can do it, but I'm not going to. I don't think it's necessary. You can use that stock for whatever you would like personally, and if you want to get it back on, it's really cool. They just have like two little tracks right here on the side. You just put it on there and slide it back down, and boom, you're good to go. And it does not come off unless you want it to. Oh, also, they included a little screw right here, a little screw port right here for if you want to put a sling mount from like an actual like sling mount from like an airsoft gun or something. You could screw that on there and have your sling going through there as well, which is pretty amazing. Although I'm not really sure where you would put the corresponding one. I guess you just have to have a 1-point sling right there, which would probably be the best way to do it anyway. So yeah, it is fucking amazing. Other features, am I forgetting anything? I am forgetting something. You have the safety lock, of course. You just push that forward and back. Obviously, S is safety, so if you push it in like that, it's safe. You can't fire it right here. You can see you can't fire it. Push the firing in. It's actually kind of tough to push that in, which is probably a good thing because that means it won't come out unless you want it to. Anyway, pull the trigger when it's safe. When it's in fire mode, obviously, and boom, there you go. I've heard dry firing does nothing to the blaster, even though it's shooting 200 feet per second. In Wacom's review, he showed that you could dry fire it over and over and over again, and you had no malfunctions whatsoever. And honestly, if it breaks, just go buy another one. It's $50. But I really don't think it'll be any problem. I've dry fired this thing to hell and back, probably well over like 3,000 times probably. And this thing, I'm sure it probably has almost the exact same internals, and it sounds perfectly fine when you dry fire it. No worse than the Nexus Pro or this. Like, it's probably not a big deal. Maybe don't just sit there dry firing it for days and days and days, but it will probably be able to handle a little bit of dry firing if you ask me. And then the final feature that I also almost forgot because this thing is just fucking glorious, it's got features everywhere, is the additional magazine release right here. So the X-Shot Long Shot actually did this as well. It had this little thing right here where you pulled this back and it actually let you take out the short dart magazine, not the long dart magazine. You had to use the short dart magazine, which of course you should be using anyway. Who the fuck is using long darts anyway? But yeah, you pull this thing back and it was able to drop this, and you didn't even need to take it out. It just dropped it right there. Really, really, really awesome. This isn't the magazine included, but yeah, it's freaking awesome right there. I love that feature, and they have somewhat included that on the Nexus Pro X. Although personally, I don't think they've included it to the same amazing level as the long shot. So what they've included here is they have this extra little piece right here. You pull this back and you can drop it. It's really, really nice. I have used it quite a bit. It is pretty darn nice to go like this and then use that. You could even just keep your finger there. You don't even have to worry about this panel right here. You can just keep your finger there, taking people out, and then drop it like that. So it's really, really awesome. And of course, since you don't have to pull this back, it's just glorious, man. It's so well refined. I love this fucking thing, man. It's amazing. And it's steal of the century, man. $50 for this thing? Are you fucking kidding me? That is freaking amazing, man. yeah, this thing is incredible. I do really like this magazine release, but I personally would have preferred it to be up here, just like it is on this right here. I don't know what it is about the magazine release being up here that's kind of just, it's just really tactical when you do that. I don't know why, but it feels really, really cool, man. Oh, tactical. That gives me memories of good old Coop, man. Oh, the good old days. The good old days. I hope he's doing well. Yeah, man. That feature is really, really, really cool as well. So if you want to use that, you can. But yeah, that is pretty much all there is to talk about with the Nexus Pro X. As like I said, with performance, I know I can't really show any performance, but you could watch a Wacom's review if you want to know about performance. But it's accurate as fucking hell. It puts little dents in cardboard boxes when I shoot them. It can shoot 200 feet per second. It's probably not safe to shoot at people. You definitely want to make sure you're wearing. Oh, I forgot about the eye protection too, because they knocked it out of the park with that too. Dude, this eye protection that they included is so amazing. Dude, check this out. They look cool, first of all. I got this like nice little orange thing right here. They come out right here, and this is perfectly fine. This fits me perfectly fine. But if they don't fit you perfectly fine, they're freaking extendable. $50. This is included. Are you kidding me? What the fuck how in the hell are you guys making money off of this? How the hell are you making money off this? These are really comfortable too. And they even have a little thing right here that keeps darts from getting in. I can't with this freaking thing. It is absolutely glorious. It is deal of the century, man. And these are nice, man. The next time I go out, I'm definitely going to be using these as my eye protection because they're nice, honestly. I would definitely take these over the big-ass goggles that came with the Mark 2.1, man. Actually awesome, man. This thing is amazing. If you want this thing, if you're interested in it, I say go get it right now. I got mine off of Walmart shelf. When I saw it, I was like, I'm getting it. I'm absolutely getting it. I want it so bad. It looks so cool. Yeah, get it. $50 for this thing is steal of the century. It's beautiful. The plastic quality is amazing. These magazines are absolutely incredible. All of the features that they've included, not having to pull the slide back in order to take the magazine out. The stock is glorious. Love the little storage thing that they included as well. Don't know what I'll use it for, but hey, it's there, man. It's not getting in the way or anything. Scope is cool, but I think you should probably throw a different scope on there, but it's okay. Yeah, I have been able to get some pretty good shots with this. I mean, this thing's like a fucking sniper, dude, shooting at 200 feet per second, man. It's glorious. I can't sing its praises high enough. It's my new favorite primary. It's gonna be like my new go-to primary, man. I loved the long shot for a long time, but this thing is glorious, man. It kind of destroys all the competition, and I don't really see any reason to ever recommend someone buy anything else other than this. If you can't afford it, save up for it. Like, would you rather spend $30 on this, which admittedly is a glorious blaster? I love this thing, and I'm definitely not going to be parting with mine. Or would you rather save up another $20 and get something that feels significantly better, I don't know about looks significantly better, but feels significantly better? And in my personal opinion, feeling is a lot better, is a lot more important than looking. You want the thing to feel like it can take a beating because you want to be able to use it. If it drops, you don't want to have to worry about it breaking. With this thing, every time I fire this thing, I'm worried the plunger tube is going to shatter because a lot of people have said that the plunger tube is shattered on there. So every single time I get done playing with this thing, I look and make sure the plunger tube is still not shattered. And mine's good, so I got a good one, thank God. I have the safety on to make sure I'm not primed there. There we go. Never keep your blasters primed, y'all. But yeah, this video has gone on long enough. I think I've literally just said this thing is glorious like 5 separate times in 5 different ways. And I'm going to say it one more time. This thing is fucking glorious. I love it so much. And it's definitely my new favorite. Go and get one. If I had to give this thing a grade, it would obviously be an S+. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Even if this isn't your thing, I hope it was a little bit fun. I'll be honest, I had a blast making this video. It was such a nice little change up, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it too. But yeah, just to make very, very clear, this isn't taking over the channel or anything. I'm not going to be going back to stuff like this, but maybe every now and then I might put one of these up because I really do enjoy this hobby. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, this blaster is awesome, and I definitely wanted to give my thoughts on it. So thank you all so much for watching the video. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And this is DK Guillotine, signing out.